Put on your podcast voice. Let's hear your podcast voice, Stephanie.
Here it is.
Here we are on the Energy is Love podcast. Trying to put on what time? It's 7:13 in the morning, but here we go.
Here we go.
Tune in and listen anywhere podcasts are available, which is pretty much everywhere.
Coffee break. We both go for our coffee cups.
I had a vision this morning of us doing video podcasts and what it would look like. And I thought about how fun it would be. So
let's do it. I'm still going to sit on this ball.
Yeah.
I'm going to wear the same clothes.
Look for that in the future.
It is going to be.
People of the podcast.
Very. I get dressed up. I layer and everything matches.
So this is the intro to this episode. This will be episode 183, I believe. Hurry up and quick fact check that.
I think it's 184.
It is going to be actually 185.
Well,
so we're killing it this morning. But
it's been a little busy.
EnergyIsLovePodcast.com is the easiest and quickest and fastest place to find all the information for this podcast. Also, if you haven't, go find us on Facebook. And typically in the show notes, you can find links to Steph and I on Instagram. So go check it out.
I post all the time. All the time.
Real quick before we get going with the episode, I do want to highlight what Everyman has done given the current state of affairs in the country and in the world. They've done a really good job of transitioning and rolling out some big online community men's groups that are taking place right now. They've had 2 this week, actually, even though it doesn't matter what time you listen to this, but 2 big calls with 100 plus men across the world on these calls. They're really, really cool experiences. They're really, really neat. It's a good opportunity to still connect with a community of men that are like-minded, as well as supporting one another and helping one another, doing what every man does, which is just relaxing, slowing down, opening up, and connecting. So you can go to their website, everyman.com. It's EVRYMAN. Find information there. I think the easiest way to find all of their online stuff that they're doing right now, because it's all happening like as we speak. They're rolling out new stuff, and they've got a lot of stuff that's in the pipeline like in the next week or 2. So the easiest way I think to stay up to date with it is if you go to their website and sign up for their newsletter, and then they send you out all the information as it happens. Also, if you follow them on social media, same thing there. They're going to have the most up-to-date information on how you can connect with them immediately, because they have stuff going on right now. Okay, baby.
Okay.
Episode 185 with Stephanie and Craig, titled Something That We Will Figure Out in the Future. And what are we going to talk about? We don't know, but we shall see.
Okay.
Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
Are you ready?
I think so.
You ready?
I know.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Here we go.
You're listening to the Energy is Love podcast.
Energy is love.
The Energy is the Love podcast.
The Energy is Love podcast.
Energy is love.
The Energy is Love podcast.
The podcast for the universe.
The Energy is Love podcast.
I heard that burp. Right as we roll, we usually do some room tone so we get some silence before we actually start talking. And literally, I go, silence, and Stephanie goes, burp, burp. This real quiet little burp.
It was very quiet.
It was very quiet, baby. I'm the only one that heard it.
It was only because, like, the burp snuck out because you made me giggle a little bit with your silence. And I immediately heard Jeff down. I was like, so it cracked me up. You made me giggle burp.
Giggle
It
burp.
wasn't a giggle fart.
Well, maybe it was, but the ball absorbed it, so we couldn't hear it.
I don't think this is absorbing. It would be one of those where it would like ricochet and amplify.
Just ripple the fart out more.
Like,
It's a bouncy ball.
shoot me right off it like a rocket.
So people that are listening, welcome to the Energy, oh my goodness, is Love podcast.
What is that function you're doing?
That was my burp that was rolling out.
It was like thunder.
Okay.
Are we good?
We're good. Ready and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, folks. It is morning time. We woke up early to record. So many things that we could potentially talk about. So many things that we should be talking about. First and foremost, I am deeply saddened. I was thinking about this, babe.
Yeah.
This episode that we're recording, because we haven't really recorded.
We haven't recorded. Yeah.
In the last week or two.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a long time.
It's been a while since we've recorded, and a lot has changed in the world in the last week or two that we can and or should, or who gives a shit, talk about. But if you aren't in Utah, folks, and you live somewhere else, you may not be aware that we had an earthquake in Utah on March 18th. On March 18th. It was a pretty decent earthquake, decent-sized earthquake, 5.7. Happened about 7:10 in the morning, and we had a bunch of aftershocks there and after for quite a while.
I think it was 7:09. To be straight.
Okay, 7:09,
that.
March 18th, 5.7 earthquake. Now I'm all backed up.
sorry.
Anyways, if you weren't aware of that because you don't live here, now you are. And if you do live here, Stephanie and I need to apologize. We're just really, really sorry. What happened was we woke up that morning about 6:45-ish
Feeling all.
and just proceeded to slowly wake up in the arms of one another and start the process of some really relaxing foreplay, which was immediately turning into some potentiality for some really hot and steamy sex. And
We're in the process of.
we were like,
It was like
on the brink.
It was like, it's go team. You were like, right.
Yeah. Everything was in place. I think I had just gotten out of bed and gotten up and shut our door so that we had the utmost privacy, even though nobody was awake in the house. And right at the moment where it's not that the troops were going to deploy. We weren't at that moment, but everybody was on board and the team was in position.
Were you in bed? Didn't you get right back in bed?
Yeah. We were in bed.
I think it was like we were moving towards each other.
Yes.
Like the tectonic plates.
Exactly. So right at that moment, right at the beginning of what was about to be an amazing sexual experience, we caused an earthquake. So we're sorry. We haven't had sex since then, so you're welcome.
Yeah.
And then proceeded the day of earthquake apocalypse. And that was a pretty wonderful, horrible, shitty day.
Yeah. Trying to realize what's happened and throw clothes on to go get your kid who's hollering for you on shaky ground it's an experience.
Yeah. I don't remember who I told about this. I didn't tell anybody about our sex part of it. I wanted to save that for everybody.
Yeah.
But you and I both, because there's this little small window of time, and it's different for everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like some people woke up and they realized there was an earthquake. You and I were awake.
Mm-hmm.
And there was just a split second of like,
What?
when it started, and your brain takes a minute to go like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then in that exact same moment, I felt like what happened was we're about to have sex. The earth starts shaking because we're such incredible sex
We are a force.
goddess and goddesses.
Goddess and goddesses?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Whatever. And in that moment, you and I both froze. And in the exact same moment, we both realized. And then in the very next moment, we were both up and at 'em because the boy was downstairs yelling.
Yeah.
But we didn't have a chance to be like, is that an earthquake, Stephanie? I don't know. What do you think, Craig? I think that's an earthquake. What's going on? We both knew immediately, I think.
Yeah.
And we just sprung into action.
Sprung move.
Yeah.
You're getting clothes on.
Some of us quicker than others. It's easier for you to put clothes on sometimes.
It's easy.
You don't have obstructions in place.
Oh, okay. Well, you did have a a shaft that you had to work around, but you only have to put like one thing on.
Maybe I was trying to really like get around that without being, but you just went straight for it, so that works.
Well, that's what anyways, yeah. You only have like one section. I
That's
had
true.
sections to cover. I didn't want to traumatize the kid more, so trying to like cover all my sections
That would
while
have been so
moving.
funny.
Oh my God, he was already terrified. Poor kid.
Yeah.
He was good. He just, and then I started realizing too, like how much more it was downstairs for him.
I bet.
And then he was like his, oh, what? He's got that wooden flag.
Oh,
thing
yeah.
that-
The thing
and that
hanging
was
up on the wall.
making some noise, and so he woke up to a smack in the wall, and he's like, "Whoa, what the hell?" So he wasn't fond of it.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
not a fun day. I'm sure if you live here in Utah and you listen, you had a similar experience. Hopefully, you weren't having sex.
Hopefully, all your kids were in one location, so then it wasn't the mad chaos of trying to collect the children around the valley, which
Yeah.
experienced it much worse than we did.
Yeah, that was fun. But we survived, and the state of Utah
Sounds like everybody
survived.
did. Sounds
Yeah.
like there was like zero. I mean, I don't know. I hope I'm still right. At the last media coverage of it, there was 0 fatalities from it, and I hope that is still the case because that's pretty fantastic.
I just consulted. It is pretty fantastic, right?
Yeah.
Nobody got injured. Nobody died.
Like, how cool is that?
Yeah,
That's so cool.
it was very cool. I just consulted not ours, but my list of podcast notes for future episodes.
Does anything look like
Nothing.
Like,
Nothing is important anymore.
I
Nothing
know.
matters.
That's what I was doing. I was looking at my list. I'm like, well, this is dumb now.
Yeah, Steph's desire to pamper herself. How are you doing there?
I have taken self-care and said, like, shut the fuck up. Go sit over there for. Yeah, no, it's not been a thing.
Yeah, I do have one interesting thing that I was going to talk
pamper
about.
herself.
I know, right? Keep us up to date, babe. How's that going?
I was doing.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah.
The truth is, there are 1 million podcasts now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's not that we have 1 million episodes, although, yeah, obviously. I don't think there's anybody that has 1 million episodes, but there are 1 million podcasts out there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty. Is that cool?
It is cool.
1 million people. With
Yeah.
A voice.
It is cool, right? Everybody gets a podcast now. You get a podcast. You get a podcast. You get a podcast. That's a good meme.
That is a good meme.
But that's neat, right?
I think
1 million
so.
podcasts out there for everybody,
I think it's so cool that everybody has a opportunity to be heard.
right?
Like, especially now where nobody can be near each other.
There is one podcast that I wanted to highlight for people. I haven't listened to it yet because there haven't been episodes available.
Oh.
But starting today,
Oh.
our today, which isn't the today that you're listening to this episode, but if you go to whatever platform you are on in streaming, there's a new podcast that we would highly recommend.
We would?
We would.
What is it?
It's called Unlocking Us with Brene Brown.
Oh, hell yeah. You're right.
We would recommend
We
that.
would recommend that. In fact, I'm putting it on and subscribing right now.
Yeah. So Brene has a new podcast that's rolling out this week.
Seriously.
Seriously.
Guess what?
What?
There is the introducing Unlocking Us that is 3 minutes. And then as of 8 hours ago, she's got her first one, which is 38 minutes long.
I know.
Brene on FFTs.
Yeah.
Let's pause and just
Do you
listen
think
to Brene.
FFTs are the same as our 3Fs?
I don't know, but I'm excited to find out.
That would be so awesome
That
if she
would
did
be
the
awesome.
3Fs.
Do you think she'd like say, "Hey, thanks, Steph and Craig"?
Yeah, shout out to the Energies Love podcast. No, but go listen. I'm sure it's going to be a good podcast.
I
haven't
think
heard any of
so.
it yet, but we're huge fans of Brene and
We have mentioned that.
that we're huge fans
We
of her.
have mentioned
We
that.
have.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, she does influence quite a bit of.
Yeah, that is not a secret that we are on the Brene train. Shut up.
Oh, you're cute. You're cute this morning. So, yeah, that's about all that I had for my podcasting list that was worthwhile.
That is worthwhile. I looked at mine just really hopeful. I'm like, I have stuff. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I was
everything is rough.
leading up to us recording this episode. I've been thinking about how I don't want to talk about the virus
You don't?
because it's everywhere and it's everything. And I don't feel like people need our spin or our take on it, right?
Yeah.
But then it's also like, what else are we going to talk about? Because that's literally the biggest thing in the world today, and it's taking up so much time and space. And
I think we could talk about it.
I think we are talking about it.
I think this is as far as it should go. I think where everybody's getting bombarded with it, I think it's okay to have breaks.
I do think it's okay to have breaks. That's the other thing I didn't like. I've seen people that are like offering their, their 2 cents on how to stay calm during these times. And
Earthquake helps.
Yeah, have an earthquake, that helps a lot. You won't be thinking about the virus.
For a whole day, the news was talking about the earthquake, even not the virus. It was a break.
It cleared out all the virus in Utah.
left for funny memes. In Utah, we like our Corona shaken, not stirred. I giggled.
That's a good one.
It was good. It was good. I giggled.
But yeah, we don't need to offer up our 2 cents in regards to what to do during these times. Like, it's a shitstorm, right?
It's a shitstorm.
We live in a very small community, so we're very different than I'm sure big cities and where everybody else is facing a bunch of different things. Like, it's pretty easy for us to socially isolate ourselves because there's not a lot of people in this town.
I socially isolate almost every day, so this is kind of life as normal for me.
Well, yeah, like our life isn't that different, right? It's not like you and I have jobs where we have to go work in a big office building.
Yeah, we just have jobs we can't work now.
Well, we're not alone in that.
That's true.
There's a lot of people that don't have work right now. But, I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about it. Sucks for everybody. It sucks for us. I'm sure it sucks for you. Everybody's having a hard time with it, right? If you listen outside of the country and you're somewhere else, like we've got listeners.
Everybody's feeling it.
Everywhere. And it's different stages.
Yeah. Nobody's
everywhere.
like, what? What's this virus? What are those?
How funny would that be? That would be funny.
That would be awesome.
Somebody that was in a coma.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking.
No, but
I
they
was thinking
wake up and that's good. They got out of their coma. And then they're like, hey, you know what I really want? And they're like, yeah, we can't have that anymore. And they're like, oh, that's fine. What about that? Nope, that's not a thing anymore. They're like, what is going on?
That's
a movie.
Sad.
That's a movie of the week there.
I think, isn't that how Rick woke up in The Walking Dead? So maybe that's not the way you should spread it.
That's totally how Rick woke up. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's. No, I think if we have any advice, it should be this. Are you ready?
Let's hear it.
Don't hoard. Stop hoarding. Get what you need so there's enough for everybody. Because there are people that don't have anything and it's not easy for them to get to the store and get things. Don't hoard. Get what you need. I know it's scary, but having way too much is not okay when people don't have anything. Get what you need.
Yeah, get what you need.
And if you need to get a little bit extra, like I get that. But, some people like have moms that send them napkins. Thank you. But don't hoard. Don't hoard. This is not the time. This is the time to.
People are dumb though, babe. They're still gonna hoard.
Maybe not. Maybe when they're seeing, like, I believe that people. This is what I believe.
What if you're a hoarder? Go ahead. Sorry.
I believe that there is that initial panic, and there are people that are gonna hoard, and they're not gonna stop, and they don't care. But I believe that people that, like me, my reaction, I'm surprised I didn't. Like, I had that moment of, you would see, like, there's no bleach, right? And then that box that was there, and just to take one, you have that moment of, oh my God, it's gone. There's something there. What if? No, you have those moments. There's no potatoes. There's no, like, we don't even eat potatoes. And I'm like, oh my God, we need potatoes. I'm like, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's really hard because you hit those panic waves, and it's hard, especially when you're a parent. You're like, I want my kids to have enough. So it is hard with that. But I believe that people are going to stop hoarding. There's limits everywhere, but I believe that. And that the ones that have are going to start to see, it's like one of the benefits of social media, even though it's spreading fear beyond anything, is that people are, hopefully legitimate people, are asking for help when they don't have something. And then people with excess supplies are starting to say, I have this.
Yeah,
and trying to get, I'm like, that's beautiful. Let's do that.
Yeah, that's a good thing,
Like,
right?
if we have things and somebody needs it and we can safely get it to them, let's do that.
We have, boy, what do we have in excess of?
We have napkins.
Yeah, fuck yeah. If you're listening to the podcast,
And we're not going to
and
get
you
rid
need
of all
some
the napkins, Mom. Like she was like, it was awesome because, we only have so much toilet paper, but we hopefully have enough.
We have enough toilet paper.
We have paper towels that plumbers, we're not going to flush down the toilet if we need to. So I think we're
fine.
I'm
Everybody's
talking about
fine.
toilet paper because that's where all the panics seem to go. And it's so silly because
Yeah.
there's so many.
I think the whole
ways.
hoarding thing was just like the initial shock
Yeah.
and the initial panic. And now people are realizing, because, like if everybody goes to the store at the exact same time and grabs everything off the shelf, then the shelf's going to be empty, right?
Yeah.
And then if we do
that
it 2
creates
days in
fear.
a row, it's still going to be empty, right? And it's not that suddenly the entire world has ran out of something. It's like, oh, you just didn't give us a chance to put it back on the shelf, you dumbass. Yeah. And now if we all just stay away for a moment and let them put it back on the shelf, then when you go back to the store, it's like, oh, look, there's actually things there. Okay, we can go take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Like the world didn't stop.
Yeah.
But I was going to talk about David. We have a friend, David, that lives in China. And I've spoken with David. And he's fine, right? It was...
I'm so glad.
Yeah, he's fine. His family's fine. And essentially what happened
They didn't even get sick, did they?
No, they didn't get sick. But they were on lockdown for like 3 months.
Yeah.
He said that basically everything just shut down. Everything, like, you couldn't go out anywhere. And if you did, it was like they were testing your temperature and checking your IDs. And it was just like a total all-out shutdown. And they were basically quarantined in their house, everybody. And now it's over.
Yeah.
So it's just a small little window of time where this is going to take place and the world's going to go insane for a minute. And then
it's going to be okay.
And then it's going to be okay. The sun's going to come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
We just have to...
Shout out to David, by the way. David,
Hi,
we love you.
David. We have to do our best to keep... It is scary for our elderly or immune compromised people out there. This is, yes, it's a flu season. So
Keep talking. Just toss me
I
coffee.
can't when you make me do this. I don't know.
That's going to look hilarious on our video podcast, by the way.
That is. By no means, be careful. Take steps. Don't be, I don't know. I am taking steps. I'm not seeing my parents at all.
Do you have anything else running through your head besides this stuff?
Honestly, I hope so after this podcast. We need to stop talking about it because I don't actually. It's a loop. It is so hard to, oh wait, that's not homeschooling. Fuck. Teachers, you guys are awesome. Seriously. I need somebody who is not not a risk factor for this, that understands math and that wants to come stay with us the time. You can just hunker down here because I need some help. I need some help.
We'll trade you napkins.
Seriously, you come here, you can stay rent free, food, everything is just taken care of while you're here, but I need some help. I cannot do, math is, what is that? And no, I don't even know. I can't even talk now. I hate it. I don't know how to do it. I had to Google how to use a freaking calculator, and it's not a regular, it's one of those scientific ones, whatever. I had to Google that. I need some help. So if somebody can come help me, that would be fantastic. And give all the teachers a raise when this is done. I am on board with that.
Oh, heavens.
I had one teacher call just to check on us and walk me through some of the process and where they're at, caring about Asher. And was specific. How cool is that?
That's very cool. Yeah, that's very cool. Good teacher.
Seriously, I think when all this is over, if she so chooses, she gets a free massage.
Was that science teacher?
No.
English?
She's been really great with the emails, but it was English that
Nice.
she just called.
Nice.
And then gave me her extension so I can call her directly.
Oh, see?
That's come on, you guys are awesome.
Yeah.
I learned that when you send a teacher an individual email through the SIS system, which I'm sure everybody has because...
Some form of it, right?
Yeah. And you send a mass email to all teachers, it does not look any different to them. So when you send a... Anyways, it looked like I was bombarding a certain teacher with a ton of emails.
Oh, no.
And so I was like, oh, I'm sorry. That's not the case. I realized how it looked. But I was like, even saying I was careful because I was like, thank you for like these ones. And here are the questions on here, just because we have, if you don't have Microsoft in homeschooling, they are sending you documents in Microsoft. Like, it will not convert on my computer. And I'm not paying for Microsoft right now. That's not a priority. Have you heard about the toilet paper?
I just read this morning that like the mortgages that are backed by Fannie Mae and or whatever those,
Yeah.
that they're going to let people skip their payments.
That's so cool. Can all mortgage companies do that?
They talked about that in the article, that essentially that's probably going to be the thing where all mortgage companies will follow suit and allow you to either make smaller payments and or just skip them.
That would be
for a while.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I hope that trickles down to homeowners who rent to people and they offer those renters the same. And
it trickles down to everything, right? Car
I
insurance,
was gonna keep like homes first.
Yeah.
So the people that are renting homes, people that are in apartment buildings, like everybody needs a break right now.
Yeah.
Let's just, I don't know. If we can all work together and not come out of this in crazy debt, the economy will bounce right back.
It would.
Yes.
Yeah. And our amazing president, all hail Trump, is
Hey.
he's sending us all money from his own personal checkbook. So he's just going to write every American a check.
Okay. You know what? If money does come for everyone, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
But
can't go to the store to buy anything. But
yeah, maybe we can send it off and keep a house. So we, when we're done, we're not homeless when we get out of this.
We won't be homeless. If you're listening, you can definitely send us money. As a matter of fact, why don't you do that? If you're listening, go to the website right now, and down at the bottom, there's a support button. You can send us money. And truth be told, if you donate to the podcast in the next month, so in between now, whenever this episode comes out, whatever that'll be, look at the calendar, babe, and tell us what day that would be.
Yeah.
But in between now when this episode is released and a month from then, so in the middle of April at some point, if you donate to the podcast any amount of money, we will turn
22nd.
around. The episode will be out on the 22nd.
Yeah.
So today's
comes out Sunday night, right? Or is it Monday morning?
We consider it Monday morning.
But I see it pop up Sunday night.
No, baby. We release
Okay,
episodes.
Monday morning. It's coming out the 23rd.
Okay, so March 23rd. If you donate,
can see it Sunday night.
Anyhow, donate us money. Give us money through the podcast, and we will turn around and donate that to some organization, some charitable thing. There's plenty of stuff going on right now. And we'll just take your money and move it right along. We won't take any of it. We won't even keep a dollar handler's fee. So if you want to donate to us, we'll just donate it right back to something else. Because there's lots of those going on right now.
There is lots of those. You have to be careful with those going on right now. Like, we will be smart. We won't be like, oh, this looks like a charity that just popped up out of nowhere. Here you go.
Yeah. Better
make
yet,
sure it's
just donate
actually
directly
going
to a
to
charity
people.
rather than us. But if
Yeah.
you want to give us money, that's cool. We'll take it and we'll give it back.
Do that. Or, and if you don't have funds, but you have items and you see somebody in need in your community, do that. In honor of that, give, help those.
Yes.
If you know somebody
and tell
with
them
babies,
to listen to the podcast.
Ask them if they're formula fed, ask them what baby food they use, what formula. And
If
when
you
you're
have
at the
boobs that
store,
have breast milk, just give them to the
stop
babies.
it. Okay, wet nurses are a thing, but you have to be careful. Okay?
I know.
Don't just let anybody
don't follow any
breastfeed your
advice
baby,
from Craig
please.
today.
Make sure things do pass through breast milk. Every boob is not created equal. Okay.
Tell the babies to listen to the podcast.
Oh my gosh. It's serious. I had to ask them what kind of formula they use. Ask them what kind of baby food. And when you are at the store, when you are out getting stuff, keep an eye out. If you see that, don't buy everything, but buy one can. Buy something just to try and help if they're running low. Now, if they've already got a surplus, then, great. But just do little things. It's all about little things. A bunch of little things equal a whole lot of big things. So
I want to start a movement as well.
Okay.
I don't know how likely it's going to take, but I believe Netflix should just give everybody free Netflix right now.
They're doing a social streaming kind of thing.
No,
Not
it should
free.
be 100%. You have free access to Netflix for the next 2 months.
That would be cool.
If you aren't a subscriber, I'll still pay.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's not that expensive, but for all those people that don't have it, let them watch Netflix for free. It's nothing better than a good series on Netflix to binge out and take your brain off of.
That's true.
So.
I've been saving. There have been people that have been posting all kinds of really neat websites that are offering free. Like the New York Library, you can now stream books for free for like, I don't know, a month or
Nice.
so. Audible is doing stories that are, there's some certain stories that can be read aloud, and a certain portion of that is free. There's one that I saw that was offering stories in sign. So your kids that are, or people that are hearing impaired can still have things read to them, because all of these like Audible things coming across. Let's see, national parks. You can get tours on them. There's Paris Museum is putting
What do you mean
out,
you can get tours on national parks?
not tours. I'm sorry. It is tours, but it's virtual tours.
Oh, okay.
So all of this is online. So if you have access to a computer and the internet, then this is a benefit for you. But obviously, you know, not everybody does. So the most you can with that, like Scholastic, a lot of school educational sites are offering free subscriptions right now. The New England Aquarium. Let's see. Yeah, there's the New York Public Library. And then there's just so many sites that are going on that it's out there. You can look and find so many resources. So many people right now are coming together and being like, yeah, we have this great resource that we normally charge. And for this time being, it's free. Help your kids out. Stay at home. Like, that's awesome.
It is cool.
So it's the least you could do, Netflix. Just
Right?
kidding.
Yeah.
So look out there.
Let
There's
people
so
watch
many
Ozarks.
resources.
What do you think is going to change after all of this?
I'm not saying that. Do you know why?
Why?
You asked me. I remember the podcast. You're like, what do you think 2020 is going to hold? And I'm like, I think it's going to be hard, but I think it's going to be good. There's going to be some hard things. And I'm like, I'm fucking done talking about that. I don't know what's going to change. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
I'm not saying anything else, and we're not having sex. So I'm like, I'm listening 2020.
March last year was the month that we didn't have sex.
God damn it. Look what you
So-
did. This is your fault.
This is my fault. You're
You
right.
decided last March. That was your decision.
You're right. It is my fault. If you're a husband out there, you are in solidarity with me. You're right. This is our fault. You're cute.
You're getting a look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, babe, I wish there was more stuff in my head besides all of this garbage.
Me too.
It's so frustrating,
Me
right?
too. Yeah.
I thought about, it's just an overwhelming sense of stress and anxiety that's like ratcheted up a few notches. It's causing us to feel tension throughout the house, throughout the day. It's difficult for us to connect. It's, and it's, I mean, I feel like part of me feels like because there isn't anything that's really changed about our life. Like if you think about it.
It's the stress level and
That's
the inconvenience at this time is where we're at.
We're not even like literally day to day. We're not even really that inconvenienced.
No, that was great gratitude.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like this is as much at this point in time as we've been affected.
yeah.
Like the fear now.
The only difference in our life right now is our kid's home, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Because
Because he's not in school.
Yeah.
That's like the literal only difference.
Yeah.
Besides that, you and I hang out. We, go down to the grocery store and get some food. We come home.
Yeah, I've got a little more fear than you.
Well, I'm saying like
And
in the
then
literal sense.
We lost a pet in the earthquake.
Yeah, we did.
That was fun. Kid goes up to check on the snake, and that was fine. And I let him check on him. I had that little twinge of maybe I should do it, and then it was like, oh shit, I should have done it.
Yeah, that was another thing that we got to experience and go through in the midst of all of it was the
Yeah.
death of a pet.
So
So, okay, so there's a few things that are affecting us, and it's a little overwhelming. You're getting a little hot now.
I am getting a little hot.
Yeah.
What do we have? Let's find some joy. Let's talk about some joy that has nothing to do with
You're cute. You know what I was going to talk about?
what?
I was going to talk about the series The Outsider on HBO that we managed to watch.
Oh God, that was okay.
That's
All right.
where my brain went.
All right.
No, that's not joyful.
It's not joyful.
Yeah. It's a great series for the first 4 episodes, and then it
And
just
it's
slowly
traumatic.
progresses downwards into what the fuck are we watching?
It rips you apart, literally.
and
And
then
then-
does not put you back together.
Yeah, and then it's like ping.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah, so don't waste your time. Better just to go watch The Watchmen instead of The Outsider on HBO.
Yeah, people are looking for, I don't know. We need to change our words are not my friend.
Shift up our...
Yeah, let's positive. What's like, this has been on my mind. I hate that this is on my mind so much. It is very much a positive thing. I went and hung out with a friend and we fed goats and it was awesome and it was so much fun. But then every time we were talking, like, that's the shit that was on the TV and you still talk about it, even though it's like it's always in the background. It's like white noise now. It is always in the background, whether it's on the TV, whether it's on your phone, whether it's on the radio, or in your conversation. It seems like it is always in the background. And when you try to get away from it, like we've been trying, we're not going to talk about it. That's all we've been talking about.
No. I did a really good job for a minute.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good
not,
job.
Not today on the episode.
I was like, where was I?
Leading up to like probably a week ago or 4 or 5 days ago. It was fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't concerned about it. Do you remember like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, we were talking about how, because things were starting to get a little bizarre land.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it's just because of like social media. It's just
Yeah.
because of the connectivity that exists in the world today. And I still believe that.
They are definitely tailoring the stories
Yeah.
to the perspective that they want it to be shared in. Absolutely.
But
I know that's not what you meant.
no, what I was meaning by that was it wasn't bothering me in the slightest. I wasn't really dwelling on it or thinking about it or, you know, and now that's all shifted. And now it's like, motherfucker, like, I don't want to deal with it anymore. I don't want to think about it anymore. You know, it's just silliness at this point, but it's not, it's important, I suppose. And it's a big deal.
It is. It is. Like, I don't think that everybody that gets it obviously is going to be, I'm definitely worried about those that can't fight as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's killing people.
So like that sucks. Like everything kills people. I know.
Exactly.
But still, like, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways.
What do you think Mother Earth is doing right now?
Well,
Like, what do you think the planet is? Because there's so many times where we talk about, and I jokingly, baby, stop fiddling with your fucking...
I don't know what to do.
Do you want a deck of cards over there?
Well, you know what? Yeah, you get to talk a lot, but you've got you just like your fiddler.
I do.
Bring your fiddler over here. Let's shake the world.
My fiddlestick.
It's my oh my god, maraca.
Yes.
I shake it and everything.
What was I saying? I don't remember.
I don't.
Oh, what's the planet? I don't think the planet cares.
I do. I did see something that was kind of neat about that, about how it's given the Earth a chance to take a breath. Emissions are going down because people aren't driving as much, and so just kind of that thing that the air pollutants
Like
are
CO2
coming down
and all that kind of stuff, yeah?
So that's good. And they showed some, I don't know if it's, because I don't know how much we can really trust anything that we find on the internet, right? But they showed, like, for instance, over China, how the emissions that were coming up, the reduction in it, and how it was looking healthy, wasn't putting that stuff in the air. And then as they started coming out of it and being able to move around more, that it was building back
Starting
up.
to come back up again, yeah.
I was like, well, maybe we just got a breath. Maybe it just got a breath.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's so many, like, hippie, spiritual, esoteric ways to look at this and think about this, and, like...
That's not so much hippie, esoteric. That's
No.
science, bitch. Okay.
Yeah, the idea that we aren't putting as many pollutants into the air because we're just simply not out and about, and like there's not the planes traveling, right? So that planes are a big that definitely is science. But I'm talking about you said maybe we just got an opportunity to take a breath, and that concept or that silly. And I'm not saying you're silly because I know that's not the context that you were referencing or meaning.
We all get to take a breath.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I see those things where people are like, you know, I mean, like I saw something where like the planet or Mother Earth or Spirit or whatever we want to call or reference or refer to it as, isn't like affected by the virus in the sense of like, that wasn't something that she did or they did. It was just the slowing down of everybody that they did. And the virus is just kind of secondary to it. And I'm like, okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, the world slowed down, which is good, right? It's a good thing. I'm a big proponent of slowing down.
Yeah, yes, we know, Craig.
You're so cute. But I don't know. I just love all those little, yeah, because I'm not, that stuff drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. The idea that somehow, like the planet just don't give a fuck. We're just ants scurrying around on this thing.
Yeah.
She doesn't care.
I know.
She's indifferent. There's 8 billion of us and she doesn't care.
Yeah, I know. That doesn't, like, I don't know.
How many people are on this planet?
This is not the way, like, no, this is, I don't want to have this conversation.
You're fine. I'm going in a different direction.
How many people?
Yeah. Isn't there like 8 billion or something?
I don't know. Let's.
Okay, Google. What's the world's population?
Less at the moment. Oh, Jesus.
Thanks, Google, you fucking retard. Yeah, we understand the definition of it. So it says...
Google's got the cold.
7.8 billion people, okay? As of March
Did you say 8 million or billion?
B,
Okay.
bravo,
I was
billion.
like,
Okay, so this is where I'm going with this.
No,
so we've
don't give us the...
Hold on a minute.
Jesus Christ.
7.8 billion people on the planet, right?
According to the census.
Now get
That's
this.
important.
Get this. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Bezos. Do you know who that is?
No.
Jeff Bezos is the founder of Amazon.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I had no idea. I'll probably forget his name too. So you'll ask me that again next week, and I'm like, no, who's that dude?
You know who he looks like? That character in Contact. Do you remember the movie Contact with Jodie Foster?
Yes.
Where the first machine that they make breaks and falls down, and then she's contacted by the rich billionaire that lives in the airplane, and they created a second one in China.
Yes, but I can't see him.
But well, I'll show you a picture of Jeff Bezos, and it'll fucking bring it back to you.
I'm dying to know this. This is definitely.
Anyways, so that's Jeff Bezos,
Oh, okay.
right? And now
Okay.
you can see the character in
I can
Contact.
see it.
Looks exactly the same. Rich billionaire guy. He like spot on. Looks exactly like that guy from Contact. Anywho, 7.8 billion people on the planet.
Okay.
Jeff Bezos' net worth, 111.7 billion.
Jesus. So he
Okay.
could literally save the planet.
So he could literally give us all $1 billion. He could give every single person on
And
the
still
planet
have billions left.
and still have billions left. He could literally give us
That-
all $1 billion. Not a million, $1 billion. And then he could still have like,
Still be the
richest fucking billionaire.
damn.
Like,
I
what a
don't know
bitch,
what. I
right?
don't know what. Like how do you not use all that and say you have all that? There's no reason. That kind of money doesn't even matter.
Oh,
at
guaranteed.
that point.
And he's
so
old.
why don't you just save everything?
Why not just give us all $1 billion?
No, like okay, like even if you don't want to do that, like why do we not? Oh my God. Okay, I'm not gonna get off on that tangent.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. He could literally save the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
He could. Well, money doesn't save the world.
No, but I'm not talking about everybody having that so they can go buy, all the toilet paper. I'm talking about solar panel. I'm talking about fresh waterways. I'm talking about healthy ways to reduce. Like, let's get rid of like all of the platforms that he could actually do, the healthcare. Let's get the natural medicine in and get rid of like the big, like money can save the world. But it's how you use it. It's not with the hoarding and who's better and who's up in this thing. You could do these steps. I don't know.
Well, if he ever turns into a zombie, if it's the zombie apocalypse and we see Jeff Bezos walking towards us,
well, we won't have to worry about a lot of like those things then.
where's his $111.7 billion then?
I'm so glad you turned it back to apocalyptic.
The apocalypse.
Apocalyptic, isn't that a word?
It is apocalyptic.
Then why are you making fun of me?
Apocalyptic.
Did I say front of me? I think I said front of me.
Wow.
Why are you making fun of me?
So I think
now we know why you're making fun of me.
I think today or tomorrow or some point this weekend, we need to get high.
Let's just do it now. Can we do it now?
Yeah.
What do we got to do today?
I don't got nothing to do today.
Do we have anything to do
We
today?
do? No, we don't have anything to do
Do
today.
we have to drive anywhere?
Nope. We are good to go. Are you on board?
Do we have any?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We most definitely do.
I can go raid Stevie's room. Pretty sure that little shit's got something somewhere.
Terrible. Oh, you're cute. But yeah, I think we need to.
I don't know. Because I'm afraid to. Because I feel like I have to be on point 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So the thought of being inebriated in any shape or fashion right now just seems like a really bad idea.
That's the
I feel
anxiety.
like I know it is.
That's the fear.
I can't even like come down enough to get something to lower the anxiety. It's like, nope, I'm on high alert, motherfuckers. I'm ready.
That's what the corona wants you to do.
I know. I couldn't even sleep. Like, I had clothes on last night in case I needed to jump up. I didn't want to have to try and get dressed again when the world's shaking.
Yeah, when the earthquake hit.
That's weird.
It is weird. We usually sleep naked, by the way, folks. That's why it's weird.
I could not.
If you're one of those weirdos that sleeps in pajamas.
Well, your wife is now.
Just for a moment.
Well, I hope.
Yeah.
Like, it shook me up a little bit. It got me a little bit.
I know, babe. I don't know what to do.
I know.
This is probably one of the hardest episodes to record.
Yeah.
And it's simply because, I mean, we've talked about way more difficult things and gone through way more difficult things on the podcast. But this is like...
This is
hard.
This is hard. I'm scared. Like, I hate that. And it's just... I'm scared of the fear. It's just the fear. Like, I think we're going to be okay. I really do.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes down to it, I believe that we're really... But that fear, it'll just grab that little niche, and it's like little Lego building blocks, and then it just goes, and it turns into this thing, and next thing you know, I'm in a panic. I'm like, wait, I don't need to be. I have to continually bring myself down. Like, I could feel myself, and now I'm trying to bring it back down.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's going to be okay.
I know it is, but my levels, it's hard to, I'm having a hard time leveling off.
Coming back down.
Yeah.
I wish I had something for you.
Yeah.
Go not rock. Go scrub your body with that Himalayan rock salt some more.
Are you gonna make fun of me with that?
That's a little funny.
It's not, it's supposed to be detoxifying. Okay. Shut up. Aw,
Yeah.
you're making fun of me.
No, you're cute.
I don't, like, why not, right?
Yeah, why not? Give it a shot.
Yeah.
I like it. I was wondering what it was doing in the shower.
It's detoxifying my body and soul. Okay.
I'm surprised you haven't started taking showers with our rock salt lamps. Just unplugging them and throwing them in there.
Well, now I know that that's an option.
There you go.
There we go. Now I was like, what am I going to do when this little thing runs out and I can't buy anymore? We've got a few.
Yeah.
We've got a few around the house.
So we have to come up with something. Some way to relax during all of this. Some way to decompress. Some way to disconnect. Maybe we just turn our phones off today.
Yeah.
Which isn't going to happen. But maybe something like that, right?
Yeah.
Because there's not really any need to be on...
You could take a social media hiatus.
Yeah, there's nothing on there. There's literally nothing on
An
there.
internet hiatus, just only have it for a phone. Because I'm sorry, I'm not. If one of our children that are scattered needs something,
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to go. So I will, oh my God, I will try to commit to a social media internet hiatus and see
what?
See how that affects. I would be less stressed if I had one of those math people come over and fucking help.
One of those math people?
One of those math people. One of you freaks that can do math. I need a math freak to come over. I like numbers. Good. Come on over.
We'll feed
I'll
you.
burn you some food. It's okay. Craig will cook. It'll be fine. I need a math freak.
Oh, you're cute. I'll burn you food.
Well, I cook with love.
I think that things will be different when all is said and done.
Do you?
I do. I think some of the differences that we see in the future are going to be good, and some of them are not going to be good. And I think that we'll look back on this time period and remember it fondly as the time that we all tried to connect and care about one another.
I hope so.
I'd love to think that that's going to be a big change and shift.
I would love that.
But I think there's just too many of us.
Well,
So
nature's taking care of that. So can you not put that out there anymore? There's not too many of us. All lives matter.
all lives matter.
And stop dumping your pets.
What are you talking about?
That was another thing that I saw.
Oh,
People
my
dumping
goodness.
their goddamn pets. Knock it off. Quit dumping your pets.
Is there any place that's not affected by it, you think?
If there is, I think, and you can hear this, don't tell anybody because everybody's going to flood you. There's weirdos that are loading up in their trailers and going and hauling out and squatting on people's properties with their guns because it's America. Like, just, if you are not affected, you just hear what's going on in the world. Like, don't tell anybody. Just ride it out. Enjoy the peace.
Let's see what Google says.
Oh, God. No, you just broke it. We're trying to know social media or internet today. You're immediately Googling. You could, hello?
Yeah, I didn't say that's what I was going to do.
You came up with it. Put your phone down.
Hold on, I have
Are you
to
serious?
look. Hold on, there's more news stories.
You cannot have sex with me for a month, but you can't not be on your phone for 2 minutes. Like, seriously?
I was looking to see if there was any place that wasn't affected by Corona.
Guess what's going to occupy Craig's time today? It's going to be an angry wife. Just kidding. Go ahead.
There isn't.
Yeah.
Or I couldn't find anything.
That's because they don't know. Because as soon as they know, people invade.
There's got to be some island somewhere, right? Where nobody's gone to yet. Hopefully, maybe.
Hopefully.
I'd like to think that there's some island out there.
And hopefully there's no more world shaking, so there's no tsunamis, and they can stay safe.
Only we shook, babe.
Only we shook. That's not true. Yes, only we shook, but...
Were there other earthquakes that day?
I watched some... I don't remember what it is called. It's a seismographic thing. I don't remember what it's called, so I can't even begin to try and formulate some correlation that you can make to be like, oh, that's what she's talking about. No, I've got nothing. But it showed a map of the world, and it showed the ripple effects. So it had the earthquake that hit in Utah, and it showed kind of the rumbles out and the little aftershocks and the little earthquakes that it triggered. And so it's like a ripple in the water, and it just kind of like and went out. At Alaska, I don't know what size they got. I don't know if it was a whole bunch of tiny, but how you mentioned they get them all the time. Alaska lit up.
Really?
I was like, there's a lot of foreigners that are in their hotel rooms thinking somebody's breaking in right now. So I don't know the sizes they got, but that little bit, it rippled and was felt, and it was showing like even in the middle of the ocean. It was just like, but again, I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
And I can't give you the name of the site or what I was looking at to fact check whether or not. But I saw it.
It makes sense.
A lot of little dots.
It makes sense,
Yeah,
right?
but I just can't back any of it up at the moment.
Oh, baby, you're so good at backing things up.
Good, want you back there. We should end it now. Now I'm a little embarrassed.
So next week on the podcast, we will have our shit together.
We're going to try to.
Yeah, we will definitely have a much better sense of the world around us and where we're at and what's going on.
Yeah.
And perhaps next week we'll have a brand new topic that is different from the chaos that is spinning in our heads today.
Be nice to your neighbors.
Be nice to your neighbors.
Be nice to your community. Help out where you can.
Don't panic and freak out. It's not
Help
that big of a
me
deal.
with math. Somebody.
Yeah. Offer to help Steph with math.
God, I can't do it. That poor kid. It's like, yes, your mom is this dumb. I'm sorry. Help.
And bear with us on the podcast as well as out there in the universe. And be safe. All those things. We'll be back next week with an episode that actually makes sense.
I'm going to try.
We'll have something, I'm sure, that isn't virus related. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
I love you, Stephanie.
I love you too.
And we already said be safe.
Yeah.
Be calm, slow down,
Be kind.
be kind, and relax. Just fucking relax. Take a deep breath. Like when you find yourself freaking out and panicking, stop what you're doing, look at your feet, take a deep breath, and just fucking relax, for hell's sakes. It's not that big of a deal. We're all going to be just fine. Right?
Yes.
Yes. Ready, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. We caused an earthquake, so we're sorry.
Every boob is not created equal. Isn't that how Rick woke up in The Walking Dead? So maybe that's not the way you should spread it.
We haven't had sex since then, so you're welcome.
Do little things. It's all about little things. A bunch of little things equal a whole lot of big things.